Welcome back to another episode of Dear Source, your ascendancy hotline, where you get your daily dose of spiritual guidance and we dive deep into real life questions and struggles using ancient wisdom and universal principles to find clarity, peace, and alignment. Whether you're navigating relationships, inner conflict, or seeking purpose, this is a space where we honor your journey with compassion, non-judgment, and insights, drawing from the universal laws, A Course in Miracles, the Law of One, and the Hermetic Principles. We are to help you here to help you find the answers, connect to your truth, and elevate your path to healing and growing. Now let's explore today's letter and connect with the wisdom of Source. And today's letter comes from Running on Empty. And this reads, Dear Source, I'm living with an overwhelming amount of anxiety and it's consuming me. The way I've been trying to cope is by working out nonstop, running miles and miles at a time, hoping that pushing my body to its limits will somehow ease the storm in my mind. No matter how far I run or how hard I push, the anxiety is still there, lingering. The more I try to outrun it, the more it seems to catch up with me. On top of that, I've started restricting my eating as a way to gain some sense of control, because in every other aspect of my life seems like it's spiraling out of it. It's as if by controlling my body, I can somehow get a handle on the chaos in my mind, but it's not working. Instead, I'm left feeling more drained, more disconnected, and more out of control than ever. I don't know how to break this cycle. I want to feel peace to release this need for control, but I don't know how to find that balance. How can I let go of this constant need to push myself physically as a way to manage my anxiety? How can I learn to trust myself again, to feel in control without having to punish my body? Please help me understand how to release the anxiety in a healthier way so I can find real peace and fulfillment rather than running myself into the ground. Sincerely, Running on Empty. So thank you, Running on Empty, for the beautiful, heartfelt letter and for your vulnerability and awareness. Clearly, you recognize that what you're currently doing doesn't seem to be working. And, fear, anxiety, all of those emotions come from a desire for us to want to be in control. And fear job really is to keep us from growing and moving forward. And it's really painful to feel like you're out of control and you're doing stuff to try to get in control. And what I would offer is that I think really understanding when you want to get out and put on the running shoe or go do something of that nature. Maybe you decide you don't want to eat. I think there's opportunities when those moments present themselves to really understand what's going on there, what's driving that, that need to go run. What's that tipping point of anxiety, of whatever it might be, that's like, okay, I better go run, because if I run, I'm going to feel better. And you probably do feel better. Just like, okay, so you choose healthy or outlets of, running, you could feel out of control and go to grab a drink or do something else. And so it's becoming acutely aware of what is driving that and understanding that and acknowledging that, because I think oftentimes too, when we turn to physical outlets such as running, food control, whether that's not eating, eating and binging, um, eating unhealthy foods, drinking, I mean, you name it, is you've got to really think about what's that what's that moment that is tripping you into that space that that's what you want to be doing. And rather than numbing it or pretending it doesn't exist or think that I'll just go for a run and I'll feel better afterwards, the reality is when we don't address what's truly going on and spending time with that, like there's kind of these elements of really understanding of we have to embrace the feminine element of healing and then the masculine element of healing. And the feminine element of healing is really to be with it, to be with, oh gosh, I am so unhappy that my marriage didn't work out. Like I feel like such a failure, um, whatever it might be. Or it could be, oh my gosh, I lost my job. I feel like such a loser. There's a magnitude of different things that could be going on that's driving it. But I think really sitting with that and understanding where is that coming from? Is that coming from a place of lack? Do I feel like I'm lacking? Is it coming from a place of wanting to have a specific outcome? Are you attaching yourself to, if this doesn't happen, then I'm such a failure? And that creates anger. Is there an element of, I just want to be in control? Like, I want to get a grip on this. Like, this feels like I'm not in control of my reality. And I think you have to identify what's really at play. And it's probably a combination of a lot of different things. And it could be different things that are triggering you in different moments. And so I think being able to recognize what those are and sitting with what those are, and then having to love and acknowledge like that element of you that's trying to protect you. That's a beautiful part of you that is trying to keep you safe and to make you feel loved. And so making sure that you love that part of you and acknowledge that part of you. That part of Erin is so beautiful. She loves so deeply that's what's driving that. And I can love that element of her because it's very genuine. And like you've got to then love that aspect of yourself because you're a whole and complete being. And then part of the masculine element of healing is the remembrance of who you are, is that acknowledgement of, yeah, I am an emanation of God. I am God eternal within the body. I am a divine being. I am whole and complete. And there's nothing wrong with me. So you have to have the element of feminine healing where you feel it, you understand it, you love that piece of you back into your to the wholeness of your soul. You hear people talk about a lot of inner child work, but that's what it is. We have moments where we have things happen to us and at all different points of our lives that create um, uh, patterns where we disassociate and we disconnect from ourselves. And this recognition and the understanding of the female element is to remember that that piece of you is loved and whole and complete. And we're inviting that into the connection with us. And so you have to have the element of feminine healing, of feeling it, of bringing it back into the wholeness of yourself. And then you have to have the element of the masculine healing, which is the true remembrance of, yep, I know who I am. Yes, I love that piece of me. And this is what's really true. The truth of what is here is that I am a divine being, and everything that I've ever gone through is a gift to grow me and to put me at this perfect moment in time. And so we are here to take the lessons that God, source, the universe divine is gifting us, and to love every element of ourselves into the wholeness of who we are. And when we do that, we truly get to step in to the essence of who we are and who we're meant to be. And we're actually learning the lesson versus what we've really been taught in this society. And we use different methods to suppress it, whether it's drugs, whether it's alcohol, whether it's overworking out, whether it's overeating, undereating. Um, you know, we've all had elements where it's our way of going, I can get in control of this. And if I do this, then I'm not truly acknowledging. And one thing I would offer as part of my own personal journey is like, unless you really are willing to look at what's coming up, because again, everything is a gift, and I am gifted these beautiful things every single day. And my opportunity that I've really started to realize is, rather than suppress that feeling or to think like I shouldn't be feeling that, I should be evolved beyond that. Why am I still having thoughts that I'm a failure? Or why am I having thoughts that I'm not quite good enough? Or why am I having thoughts that I'm not enough? Um, everything that I do fails, and I'm not enough. And I feel like such a failure. And, I'm never going to accomplish what I know I'm here to accomplish, whatever the, the talk is that's coming up. The opportunity is to really sit and to be with that, and to understand, like, where is that coming from, and to love that piece of you back into existence, and then do the work of remembering the truth of what is true, which is like, you're divine, you're perfect, you are infinite and whole and complete and abundant, whatever is running behind there. And in that element, you then get to step through and bring the pieces of you that you've been suppressing and not acknowledging. And that's really the game. Like, pretending it doesn't exist or pretending you've evolved beyond it, that's not where the healing happens. And there's a lot of different modalities that you can use in this healing process. You can do some journaling and really look at, like, where is that coming from? What triggered that? What's the catalyst in that? What do I need to remember that is the truth of what my highest self would tell me? What's the good element of running on empty that is present in that moment, that is truly trying to elevate her? What is my lesson here? So everything is a gift. And when we stop running from it and turn at and look at it in the face, we also discharge a lot of that emotion, because we're willing to look at it. And then the other elements that you can employ, are some nervous system reset techniques, to clear out those patterns, rewire your nervous system, rewire your brain to a different pattern of thought. I mean, our bodies are magnificent, miraculous beings, and we can rewire our thinking, and we can reprogram ourselves to feel a different thing, and we can release from ourselves any of the traumas that we've been holding or building because of that. You can do shamanic work. For example, one of the techniques that I use sometimes when I'm feeling blocked is called a dismemberment journey. And to kind of dismember myself on this journey process and then remember myself back with the truest essence of light. So there's a multitude of things that you can do. But I think first and foremost, the fact that you've acknowledged it, you are aware of it, you know that you want something to be different. Um, that's the beginning stages. And so I would love to connect with you for a personal one-on-one session. Um, to just hear your heart, point you in the right direction. We all need coaches. We all need people in our lives that are catalysts to our remembrance of who we are. We aren't here to be solo. We are here to be in relationships. So that means people's job is to essentially trigger us and to help us work through all those blockages to step into the highest version of ourselves. And so some of the greatest teachers are the greatest catalysts because what they're doing is they're helping activate within you what you know to be true because you actually hold all the answers. And a great coach is just somebody that's holding up that mirror and getting you to see that and getting you to recognize that and getting you to then propel yourself forward in a new direction. So I extend you so much love and light. Running on empty. I hope every person that needs to hear this, whether you're trying to outrun anxiety with a multitude of things, please, please, please reach out. So, with that, I want to thank you for joining us on today's episode of Dear Source, where we align spiritual principles with real world experiences. Remember, no matter the challenges you face, peace, clarity, and wisdom are always available when you connect with your higher self. If today's discussion resonated with you and you're seeking deeper personalized guidance, I invite you to book a private session with me. Together, we can explore your spiritual path and unlock the answers you've been searching for. And if you're ready to connect with a like minded spiritual community, coming soon is the Ascendancy Collective, where we support each other in growth, healing, and ascension, mind, body, and soul. You don't have to walk this path alone. Join us and let's rise together. Until next time, honor the process, trust the process, honor your truth, and stay connected to Source.